This should be the clip for TikTok. That way people are like, what the fuck are they talking
They,
about?
I know. You gotta go watch a documentary to check it out. Welcome back, BVB Army. Welcome back to another episode of BVB Army Hearts to Hearts. I'm Nicole.
I'm Ruth.
It's November.
It is
Sorry we
November.
missed last week.
Yes, we apologize for missing last week. Life gave us curveballs that was out of control, but we are here. So thank you again for your supports and our apologies for last week.
Hello, we're back.
We're back. We're here. We're alive. We're functioning. Sure.
But barely.
Barely functioning. And for anyone who's adults, you know, life is life and life throws you curveballs and it's like one thing after another and you're at the point where you just like, I'm done. I'm done. That was me. That was me in these last 2 weeks. So
Well, then you throw the holidays in with it, and I feel that it just makes it that much more exhausting. While holidays are enjoyable and fun, mentally draining.
oh, and for any educators out there, I am with you. I am so sorry for everything you have to deal with, especially with the recent full moon that we had and stuff. And then, of course, for all that popular trend for any educators out there, 6'7".
Dude, that is the most stupidest thing I've ever heard.
I'm like
I
this close, like these close for banning it in my room because so far a lot of teachers have banned it from their room, and I'm just like I'm about there.
Is that all you guys hear in classrooms is just 6'7", 6'7"?
I'm doing a project right now with my fourth and fifth graders where they have to like draw pumpkins and leaves, and within the pumpkins and leaves, they have to put patterns and lines designs in it, which is called Zantangled. And they're like, you said we could do patterns and numbers and letters. I'm like, yes, because technically that is a pattern and things like, so we could do 6'7". I'm like, technically, yes, you could do that. Technically, yes.
I mean, that was a loophole right there that they it may, yeah, so it's one of those if you could ban it, but could you ban it really on paper because they're not saying it?
Oh no, my messy mats have 6'7" all over them now.
Oh my gosh. It's everywhere. Give it a year. Hopefully next year it's done.
So again, check your educational friends for anyone who knows work in anyone in the educational field because we are barely hanging in there as of right now, and it's only November, so please help us. But we are here and stuff, and we are here to talk about the very first episode of the documentary series from Blackville Brides. Who cares about Blackville Brides? Episode 1.
Which I just want to point out, I'm very disappointed in the BVB Army because I was telling Ruth, weak as that we only have like 30,000 views on that episode. What is wrong with us? I mean, don't get me wrong, as I said, holidays, I know we're all busy, but when you guys get the time, this is a must watch.
Let me see how many views it has now. 41K now.
Okay, hold on. Let's redo this. BVB Army, I am still disappointed because only 41K. 41,000 views. We need to. This is a must see, must watch. Very, very educational. A lot of history that you are going to be missing if you do not watch the documentary.
No, it was interesting. It just came out of nowhere because it dropped on Halloween, which was your golden birthday. I remember we got the messenger and Instagram message about it before it was fully released out in the public. It was like a link for unlisted videos. So
That, yes, that was a golden treat because I did not expect it to get released on Halloween. It does, it sucks that it took pretty much like a full year to get like developed and released, but I couldn't have asked for a better release drop.
it was interesting because like they were not I mean obviously they had the trailer, but like I said, just coming soon. They weren't like dropping teasers or here and there. It just like boom, here you go.
Yeah, it kind of dropped out of nowhere. I felt like there would have been like a lead up to it. But no, they just kind of dropped it out of nowhere. And that could be why the views are so low. Maybe not that many fans are aware.
No, and well, don't get me wrong. I love BVB. I know that they're working on their newest album and stuff. Obviously, they're like pretty much almost done with it and stuff. And like they released Hallelujah, and then obviously Andy has his side projects going on, like the book that his recent second book, The Bleeders, just came out, which we will make a video on it very soon. And also that a new thing I just saw recently. I swear I've been living under a rock right now for 2 weeks. So like yesterday was the day I actually started catching up on stuff. But that new, I think correct me if I'm wrong, but from the looks of it, it looks like Andy's making like a clothing line called The Prophet. I don't know if you saw that, which is really cool. Or maybe it's not a clothing line. I know something called The Prophet that he's been working on, which I'm looking forward to seeing what that is.
I do just want to cut you off real quick to say that I would love if it's a clothing line because it would remind me of the clothing line he used to have, the West Tower. What was it
Yeah.
called? West Tower, or
No, no,
why can't I think?
I know exactly what you're
Yeah.
talking about, but I don't know. I kept seeing the Prophet like coming soon, and like for some reasons, I'm getting like clothing vibes from it, but I could be completely wrong. Maybe it's something else. I don't know. Maybe his own artwork and stuff, which we dope too.
Oh, yeah.
But I know Andy's doing that and stuff, but like I will admit, I know we mentioned this in an episode that we are just having withdrawals from Blackville Brides right now, just because we are waiting patiently for the new album. And I'm sure next year they're gonna throw us so many goodies for like a new album, music videos, tours, merch and stuff. Like I'm expecting that for next year and stuff. But at the same time, part of me is like, I want something little to tie me over. Like, don't get me wrong. I know the book is there. We have Andy's clothing or whatever profit website coming up here soon and other stuff. But I guess that's one of the reasons why I think maybe this video, the first episode, has so many low views. Is just because a lot of the fans are just kind of waiting there and occupying their self with other things right now as they're waiting for Blackfoot Bride. So don't get me wrong, I'm sure a lot of fans were excited to see this episode like I was. I will admit though, I didn't watch the episode until this recent week because of life. So I I'm one of those fans. I'm late to the party, but I don't know. That's just my hunch of why maybe it has so many low views. And I don't mean that to like drag anyone or anything from the army. It's just my hunch.
And you very well could be right too. I think it's a combination of that and just life in general. But I mean, Andy did drop that email that all fans should have
Yeah,
gotten if they are subscribed to the Blackfoot Brides newsletter. And I just want
that's
to point
true.
out that you are correct. Next year is going to be completely full, as Andy even stated in
Yeah.
that email that come next year, there is so much going on. It's going to be a busy year for Blackfoot Brides come 2026.
So I'm looking forward to that. I am. And at the same time, just like I want something here and there for the end of this year. But again, I'm sure if we don't get anything, I'm sure they're gonna make it up for next year of what everything coming out for the name of the album and stuff, new singles, music videos, all the fun stuff. So
Well, if you think about it right now, currently, if we are getting anything for the rest of this year, it is the documentary,
that
and
is
we're
true.
getting an episode, what is it, every other week or something like that?
I sure something like that.
It's
I
either every week or every other week
I
an
can't
episode.
remember every other week or something, but I am excited to see more of the documentary. Although, I don't know, part of me was kind of hoping this documentary was more of a like a movie instead of like series. I don't know why. Just who I am, maybe.
Yeah, I've assumed it was going to be a full-length film, but I'm not hating the series. I feel like it does kind of force us to not binge it as a whole since it is releasing
Yeah,
one
and
episode a week or every other week. So it kind of forces us to take our time with it.
so episode 1 is about like 42 minutes long and stuff, and it's called, I correct me if I'm wrong, Denial.
It's denial. This documentary is not at all what I expected it to
I
be,
don't
and
know what I was expecting. I knew they filmed it before Devil Night and during Devil Night last year when they were at the UK and stuff at the Wembley venue and stuff. So I knew about that, but I didn't know what approach they were going to it. It's kind of nice though because I will admit when you first start watching the episode, for any fans who are not, spoiler alert, spoiler alerts, it took it in directions where we're kind of talking about the past and history of Blackfield Brides, and then particularly this episode, particularly on Andy and like him growing up as a child, and then him and his 17-year-old, 16, young 20-year-old self. So
I think it's great inside knowledge for fans that had absolutely no clue of really anything that happened to Blackfield Brides, whether they were OG fans or not. And like I said, before, its great history of Black Veil Brides that I think even non Black Veil Bride fans should actually watch.
And I will admit, I did learn a couple of things here and there because it's interesting because like for anyone who's been there from the start of Black Veil Brides, from Knives and Pen music video, or even before then, and watched being there as they progressively got bigger and bigger and bigger and stuff. Obviously, we discovered them like at 15, 14 years old and stuff, and our mind, we were kids. We were kids. And obviously we heard about the stuff. We heard about Andy, being an outcast, flipping people off during shows and like getting angry and like throwing water bottles and getting trampled all over and everything else. And we're like, yeah, because that's that. But now going back to it, rewatching it, hearing Andy look back at it, and now me as an adult too, looking back at it like, we were kids back then. And just him kind of looking back at it now, and now I kind of understand, like, okay, for example, in the beginning of the episode, he talks about, he was diagnosed as a child with OCD, ADHD, and stuff. And I will admit, during that time, I, how do I say this? Like, it's different. It's definitely different for a kid to have those diagnoses and then try to function in life because their mind just thinks differently, obviously, which is not their fault. It's not their fault. And for him to call it, say it's his superpower, which I just kind of found really funny because now I'm looking back at it like I'm an educator, and then I have students who have OCD, ADHD, who are multi-language learners, behavior interventional students, BI and stuff, and they're just kids and they just want to express themselves in the way they can. And I'm sure Andy had some struggle at school, I'm sure of it and stuff. And it's very reassuring and just I'm very grateful for him that he had Amy and Chris who really understood him. He said, like, hey, if you want to be yourself and be yourself, great. We don't have to like get all these medications for you to like kind of shut down your superhero power to you can be like a normal human being. And I don't know, I just like looking back at that for him saying that was really nice because like as an educator, I meet with those students a lot every single day, mostly. And Andy, I am so sorry if the educators back then did not give you the time or the time to express yourself or to let you be and stuff. I know as an educator, it's hard, it's challenging because we have like 20 to 30 students in a classroom and we have to manage all of them. And I try my very best for those students who are MLL, BI, who have a 504 plan, IEP plan, um, OCD, ADHD, and stuff to let them express themselves in arts. But at the same time, it's trying to find that balance to let them express themselves, but at the same time, let them know, like, you're in a classroom setting, there are expectations for you. So it's just interesting. I don't know. I kind of went into a whole wormhole at the beginning when he was going about that. I may have said too much and used my teacher vocabulary. So hi. Okay, I'm gonna stop.
Well, along with exactly everything that you were saying, I think that was actually one of the beautiful things about the first episode of this documentary is you kind of, I mean, there's a lot of people that, of course, come on and get interviewed, but Andy specifically, I think what's important with the fans is that connection. And I think just him speaking about the troubles that he went through growing up, I mean, even the troubles that he's still currently going through, I think one of the beautiful things is it's something that fans can watch and they already relate to the music and now they can relate to him as a human too. And I think that that's like a really beautiful connection that the fan base can have with the band.
No, and I just like how, again, I've said this multiple times already, that you even just mentioned like his superpower heroes that is with him and stuff, and that's how he can be able to express himself, feel free, and like honestly don't give a about what other people think. And obviously, he went through that towards the end of the episode and stuff. So it was just, I don't know, that part was really just, for me, it was kind of eye-opening. Like, yeah, I mean, like, I didn't, honestly, when I was a kid, when I first discovered about Black Eyed Brides and discovered about Andy, I didn't know he had ADHD. I didn't know he had OCD and stuff. I did not know. I really didn't know about those stuff as a kid growing up because, you know, we're kids. We don't really get taught that stuff at that
Yeah.
age. And then, now being an educator and like, I think it was like maybe around high school or maybe at the end of middle school where I kind of like, oh yeah, Andy has ADHD. It kind of makes sense. Andy has OCD. Kind of makes sense because he does these little things here and there that, which is perfectly fine. It's just who he is, and he makes it work for him, which I think is awesome, honestly.
Yeah. it's things that we didn't notice back then that we're noticing now. We're like, yeah, we could totally look back and see, yeah, he definitely
Like,
had that.
I know this, I just see a lot of people comment this, like the hotel scene where he's like, I must have everything on hangers.
So that scene in particular had me cracking up because I think I've even told this to you, but I say it to Hudson all the time. Anytime I go into a hotel, I'm always like, we don't need these dressers. Who is unpacking all their clothes into the dressers and the closet? Who is hanging up stuff? Andy, I didn't realize you were the definition of that person. I didn't know that there was people out there that did those things. And but after watching him and listening to him explain why he does it, it made so much sense and I thought to myself like, damn, it's probably the best way that you can make it feel like home while you're on vacation.
I mean, that's what I did and now doing recently. Because before, as a kid and like going on vacation stuff, I would always keep stuff in the suitcase and stuff because like we're not staying. I don't need to put things in the dresser. I don't need to put things in the closet. Whatever. Like you said. But now, as an adult and stuff, like when we went to Cincinnati, like I took everything out. There was a closet with hangers. I hang some stuff out. I had a little section for all my dirty clothes and stuff, and like I had it whole plan up because it's like. I always dig in the luggage and then it becomes a mess. Might as well just hang it up and stuff. So,
I I do love in this documentary too that right off the bat in the beginning, the front poop was mentioned. I was so happy. I didn't think that they were gonna explain that by any means because back then I was like, oh my God, like I felt like I was the only person that knew what it was because no one else online that fans that I came across knew. And I would always love like explaining the story behind it. So to watch it be explained again, I was like, yes!
soon
And
as I
then
saw
you
that
finally
thing
got to see
where they were
it.
talking about the FP and stuff, I started laughing so hard because I'm
Yes.
like, Nicole's gonna be happy. I knew she was happy with that part.
Ah, I was so thrilled. I was like, yes. The fact that it was on the first episode made my day. Made my day.
So I'm trying to remember. So in the first episode, obviously we get Andy's talking from his point of view about stuff. We get Chris and Amy Biersack a little bit here and there, just how they are as parents and like how,
Oh
is it
shit.
ever enough? Is it too madness for him? Do you like? I think it was towards the end where Amy was. Honestly, I love. Don't get me wrong, Chris. I love hearing stories, but like I know Amy's, an introverted person, which is completely fine. But I just love to hear Amy's voice, to hear her side of the story from her perspective, because it's very rare that we get to hear that. So I really enjoy when Amy was talking, and then I think it was towards the end where she's like, the person will ask her like, "Is it like, would you ever tell him like it's too much, like get out of it, like pick a different career and stuff?" And she's like, "No."
I feel like the first episode is really kind of more about where they interview Blasco and John, where they kind of explain the story of Black Veil Brides and how you get to hear about how they blew up so quickly and
Yeah.
it was almost magical because no one understood why they blew
Well,
up. But then you also hear about when they blew up that they were known as what the biggest shit stain on the earth of metal or
yeah,
whatever
it was
it
like
said.
metal sucks or
You
something
get
that
to
Blasco was talking about, and
yeah.
that's how he kind of discovered Black Veil Brides and stuff. No, it's just kind of crazy though too. It's like looking back at like was it what would you say the mid 2000s or something? BVB blew up, or I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I would say the mid because they blew up probably and they released their Knives and Pens music video in 2009,
Yeah,
but they were getting bigger before then because John was saying how they would be just selling out clubs and
right.
everything and those those smaller little like bar places
Mhm.
and they had no clue why they were just blowing up and they only had one
Well, it's
music
just
video out.
interesting to like kind of look back now to see like if we look at now of how social media is, it is way different now than how it was when we were growing up. Because we grew up with the internet being born and invented with YouTube and stuff. Like YouTube had the 5 rating stars before the thumbs up and stuff. For anyone who did not know that. So
Yeah.
but like just to see that, like back then for a video that Andy posted to what get like 5 million views or something to be that blown up, for them not to be signing with a record label, for people to not know who they were, for them not having an album or anything, just for that one music video to blow up with that amount of views was huge for them back then because no other band was able to do that, like as nobodies, I should say. And so I know they kind of dwelled in like how, Blasco mentioned like, oh, they were the metal suck. thing type deal. A lot of bands didn't want to have them open him up for them or anything because, like, who are these people? They just blew up on YouTube and stuff. And now, if you think about it, today on social media, that's how singers and bands are getting blown up right now
Mhm.
is by TikTok and like 30-second clip video of their vocal range or something.
That's how a lot of bands are blowing up now, and I think a lot of it is thanks to TikTok. I want to say at first it was YouTube, now it's,
No,
well,
it's 100%
actually, oh,
TikTok.
MySpace, YouTube,
Yeah.
TikTok. Black Veil Brides completely blew up before the internet was even as huge as it was, and I think if they were to have started now with how the internet is, I still think they would have blown up just as big. Um, and with that being said, I want to go back to what both Chris and Blasco had said, because I know that they had mentioned that Black Veil Brides just blew up and a lot of people were pissed, or a lot of, not just people, but like they were talking about how bands were just pissed off at the band because they thought they were some like hot topic manufactured
Yeah.
band, and they weren't.
No.
And it really sucks to hear that other bands were so freaking jealous of Black Veil Brides. But then what does John say? Oh yeah, I screw that band, but I'll open for you.
Right?
I'll play in front of your entire fan
I'm just
base.
like, are you f***ing kidding me? Like, that's like, you're just like, what? Contradicting yourself. So,
I know, but it was weird. I can't lie. When you really go back and think about it, Black Veil Brides is such a strange band because they were so hated, but at the same time so loved,
no,
and they
it
still
was, it
are to this
was,
day.
was it John who said it was a Warped Tour? Yeah, it was Warped Tour where like they got a main stage, BVB got a main stage, so they were there, like the one of the main stages was there, and yet he couldn't remember. There was another band, like a more metal type band playing, and their fans were flipping off the BVB fans. So Andy at the time had a wireless mic, and yeah, balls, Andy. I will say that because I could never. I guess saw that that other band was flipping their fans off. So he just somehow, because I guess the stages were somewhat close to each other, went to the other band stage with his wireless mic, still singing, and while flipping everyone else off theirs. Like, which is really nice because it's like kind of reassuring, like, obviously the guys Andy has mentioned this over and over and over and over like since day one, thanking us fans for giving him the career for like 15 years or something, including more, and for him just to be like, you know what, I'm gonna go over there and defend you guys because you have given us a career, so you guys for us, for you flipping off our fans and stuff, which was really nice. So
I think it was so important for him to stand his ground because it is insane to look back and think I've never seen any other band get that much hate before.
but
Like
I
ever.
did, yeah, that is true, true. And but I do like when they did interview Andy towards the end about talking about, his past, going and flipping off and throwing water bottles, going into the crowd and like yelling or challenging someone and stuff. Like even John mentioned, like, was it during Warped Tour, Andy went in and like, oh, everyone was just mobbing him and pulling his hair and stuff.
Oh yeah, was that like he said like in an Arizona show or
Yeah,
something? They
Arizona show,
pulled
and
him
like
in.
John was able to get him out, but during the process, some girl, some fan, like broke his finger, and now he can't bend it. So
Oh no, and apparently he's like he loves to play
I
the drums. He's like
know,
that's
but
harder
it's
for him
just like
now.
I know. I'm sure Andy was very honest when he got asked the questions about the past of like flipping off and getting angry at fans. Like, and I do get where he's coming from because like um, long story short, he kind of just said like I don't understand why people are mean. I don't understand why people are hassling me or my friends of just doing what we love and what we worked for so hard as they should and stuff. And like I get it, life is unfair, unfortunately. People can find success on what they love and do, and yet there's always going to be those people who drag them down and stuff. And unfortunately, it's just a thing. And it is. Andy's right. It's mean and it's sad too that that's life. That's our society. Like we have a lot of bad apples in society where a bright apple can be shining because they work so hard and that's what they love to do. That was their goal. And then there's another bad apple around them. I'm like, well, you. I'm going to bring you down. I'm going to hassle you.
But you know what makes it even more sadder is the fact that he did state it's like he's a 17, 18-year-old kid trying to do what he,
Yeah.
just do what he loves, living out his dream, and you have full-grown adults just tearing him down and belittling him, and it's like you guys are doing this to a
I
teenager.
know. It's like, what the f? Like, seriously, if I don't know. And I think it's still going on, not just in the music industry, but just any type of industry too. It's just like I will admit, like as an educator, I mean it's not as intense as the music industry. But like I follow a lot of freaking amazing art teachers who are now younger than me who are doing these amazing projects and like doing the standards and whatever stuff. And I'm here like, well, shut up. You're making me look feel bad for my students of my teaching career. Am I doing enough and stuff? So, I mean, I don't say that, but sometimes I feel that way. I still follow them and I take their projects and do them and I'm grateful for it. But there are times where I'm just like, am I doing enough? Like, damn, I get a little bit of a uh jealousy. And I hate to say that, but I do.
I feel that you have your own unique style and ways of doing things, but I do feel that you can be inspired and encouraged by others.
No, and I just like that how Andy was very open about that. Like he admits, like, yeah, maybe I was a little too intense from time to time, but you know, he was a kid. He was a literal kid who was in this industry and stuff, and like you said, adults were poking at him and bullying him, and just like he was a freaking kid.
One of the things I'm not gonna, I should have written it down. This is my
Uh,
baby, but I know you'll remember. I'm not gonna get like the first part right, but it's in the same thing that you were saying where he is discussing this whole thing. And I specifically loved how his like retaliation was, "You're gonna shut the up and let me play it." I just thought, yes, but like I feel like all of us have been there at some point in our life where we're trying to do something and you always have someone that's trying to stop you or tear you down. And you're like, just let me do it.
honestly.
So I feel like he just got pushed to that point, you know?
No, and I like how he ended it too. It's like obviously he's now an adult, clearly. But he's like now he wants to be in a place in a role model where he knows a lot of his fans now, like us, are now adults too, and yet we're still fans and stuff. We've been there from the start. And now he's like, I still want to show you guys like thank you, be appreciative of the music and his hard work. It also show like, you know, he's a human, but like he's also grown from his mistakes too.
Yeah, which is why I think this documentary is perfect for both fans and non-fans. I think both should check it out. OG fans, I think, will find it very like nostalgic with the memories that he'll bring up that they'll remember. And then for newer fans to get a lot of inside scoop of what happened with old Black Veil Brides that they weren't around for. And then just people who, whether they just don't know a Black Veil Bride yet, they can watch it and they can become interested, or just even people who dislike them. I still think they should just kind of get educated and watch it.
No, naturally. I mean, I'm curiously like wondering, like, first of all, I'm wondering how many episodes are going to be there because we're in the month of November, so it's every other week, make maybe like 10 or maybe 9 or 8 episodes or something. And
8 would
then,
sound more accurate since
yeah,
I think that's what
that's my hunch, but I could be wrong.
yeah.
And then obviously we're going to see the progression of like obviously in the first episode we saw them come to the UK and stuff and get ready for that. Which, okay, there's one scene that made me laugh so hard, and I don't know why. It just made me laugh so hard. I probably know why. But when they went to the place to start rehearsing and stuff, all the guys were like talking about like, oh yeah, I woke up like at 5 a.m. and stuff. I woke up at 6 and stuff. It's like I need to go to bed because we have to go here and stuff because of the time difference and stuff. And here's Jinx like, oh yeah, I went to bed like around 7, got up like around 8. I'm fully energized. I'm like, yes, Jinx, you know how to do that. Yes. And I'm like, epilepsy expert here. Epilepsy. Yes. Yes. I know that's so random for me to bring up. It just made me laugh so hard though.
All in all, I think it was a wonderful first episode drop, and even though it was totally different from what I expected it to be, I absolutely loved it and I'm looking forward to the next episode.
Next episode, and I think in the next episode we see more of like the pop-up experience that a lot of fans got to go to and stuff. And then I know there was a teaser at the end, like Cece's like, I may have to go back because they didn't stamp my passport. I'm like, really, Cece? Really, Cece? Like seriously? Okay.
It's going to be nice to actually follow up with that story, get more backstory on it of why it happened, how it got fixed, etc.
No, and I there was a small clip towards the end of like during the pop-up VIP type deal that Annie's like, I knew this was gonna happen, that's why I saved all of these memorabilia stuff, which I was like, oh, my heart.
He's just foreseeing his own future. He has planned his
I
future.
At
He's like,
six
this is
years
gonna happen.
old, he had two things he wanted to be as a career: a hockey goal, I think, a hockey goaler, I think that was it, or a rock star. And someone, or was it his teacher or someone, told him like, you may want to think of a backup plan. No,
Yeah, no,
no.
I'm good. I'm glad it's probably for the best that he didn't. Because imagine if he did, maybe he wouldn't be those things.
No, and it's just pretty cool just to see more of this inside and obviously look at a different perspective now as an adult to compare where I was like 15 or 16 is like still learning about life. So
Hmm. And for anyone that doesn't know, I think a good thing to mention now is the documentary is just a lead up to Wembley.
Wembley, and I'm super excited to see that and stuff because obviously we missed it.
I know, but we get it. I'm so glad that we hopefully hope maybe the ending of the documentary is the concert. That would be amazing.
That's Don't get my hopes up, but I'm hoping now.
I know. I know. I'm overthinking it here.
No, I'm super excited and obviously to get more insights from other people's point of views. Obviously more Chris and Amy Biersack, and I know that Lilith came over and all the wives, all the partners came over to support their BVB and stuff. So I'm hoping we get interviews in their perspective point of views because I always like hearing the partners' perspective views. Like when we got Alex, it was such a pleasure just to hear her point of view about Cece and the band and stuff. And like, I want to know Lilith's point of view. So I want to know all the partners' point of view when it comes to BBB and their significant other. So
I'm looking forward to the next episode because I'm also excited to see who else did they interview. Because John, I was not expecting to be interviewed, and I always saw him in photos, like just so many past photos, and to finally just see him in front of the camera speaking, I'm like,
I don't know.
yes, you are a
And I
legend, sir.
wonder if for those fans who actually went to the VIP pop up if they got a chance to get interviewed. I don't know. I'm hoping. So who knows? We might see some people that we know.
This is just real quick to just kind of close out. Your thoughts on the butterfly chicken butterfly? Which one do you prefer? Are you right there with Andy?
Had
This is
to
important.
pause and rewind. Like, what the hell did I miss with this chicken butterfly thing?
Chicken butterfly chicken. Two different things
Butterfly,
here.
butterfly chicken. You know what? I don't know. Chicken butterfly or butterfly chicken. Chicken butterfly or butterfly. I don't. They both roll off pretty decent in my head.
We
So,
do.
so it's just hard. Like chicken butterfly, butterfly chicken.
It's not only which one, but it's like if you do a butterfly chicken, then a butterfly chicken is a butterfly that's the size of a chicken, and a chicken butterfly is a chicken that's the size of a butterfly.
I'm Switzerland.
Neutral.
Answer. I'm Switzerland.
I like neutral's good.
Neutral. I'm neutral. I'm Switzerland. So I'm just
Switzerland.
gonna go with that
Love it.
because both roll out pretty decently both ways. So I'm just like, I'm
I love
neutral.
it.
So
That's Switzerland.
again, if you have not watched a documentary of episode 1, please go watch it. We need to get those views up. I know it's only at 41K right now, at the moment, as of right now, but we do need to get those views up, guys. Share it, repeat it, rewatch it and stuff. Give it the thumbs up, honestly.
Like, comment, all the fun things. Subscribe to Black for Brides if you have not.
But no, I am excited to see the new one and obviously any other new things that BVB or let alone Andy's going to come out with. Because I know, again, we mentioned the Profit website. Obviously, we are going to dig into the Bleeders book here very, very soon, which I'm super excited to because spells Sweeney Todd. Today's fan shout out goes to someone on Twitter who commented on one of our posts. Mandy James, shout out goes for them. Just thank you so much for supporting our channel, commenting when we make new posts about new episodes and stuff. Looks like you're from England, so international fans, always welcome. We love you guys. Again, thank you for supporting us and obviously supporting Blackfield Brides and all the members there of what they do and stuff. And please go check them out on their X/Twitter account because they are big fans of Blackfield Brides. And again, just thank you for all your support. So fan shout out goes to you, Dr. Evil.
I know. All right. BVB Army, thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode. We greatly appreciate it. Once again, we do still sorry about last week, but hear me out. We have a really fun video coming next week, because for anyone that doesn't know, we are in November and Ruth's birthday is coming up on the 24th. So next week's video, it's going to come out a little bit early, but it is going to be Ruth's birthday video. So please stay tuned and check that out. It's going to be fun.
Holy
I'm
cow,
going
you are
against
correct.
Ryan.
You are
What?
correct. Sorry, for some odd reason, like, we're doing that next week? Yeah, you're right.
It's next week.
Jesus, where did time go?
Me and Ryan are facing off. Bum, 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 ba-da.
Yes. A
You
new
let
fun
Ryan
video
know that
next
I have
week.
been studying.
Have you?
I
Let's test
mean,
this out right now. Who is my favorite character from Big Bang Theory?
wait, I don't think you've ever told me
I
about
have
Big
told
Bang
you.
Theory. You have?
I have.
Okay. I don't know the names of them, so I don't know. Damn, I did not. Wow, maybe I'm not. Girl, you got me
Well,
all
I'm busy
up
Parks and
now.
Rec, you know that one, but I have been watching Big Bang Theory, and I did love that show before Parks and Rec. So.
I do remember you saying that. For some reason, the character is blanking, but you know what? I got more studying to do. Nerdy.
Stay tuned for next week, as is going to be my early birthday trivia, like we did for Nicole and stuff. She's going against my partner, Ryan. This is going to be awesome because they're both competitive. Unlike Hudson and I, we were kind of nice about it.
Ryan and I are just gonna be insulting each other through the screen. We're just
Oh,
gonna.
jeez. I'm going to be right here with his ear in my ear. So.
Anyway, you guys, if you're watching, hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and give us a follow on Instagram, TikTok, and X. We will see you next week.